From 15 December 2025, social media screening is going to become mandatory for H1B and H4 visas. This screening is going to begin from the DS160 form. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you how to properly fill your DS160 form so that you pass the screening and avoid any unnecessary delays. Keep on watching. Hi guys, my name is Shachi. I'm a US visa coach. Over the last 4 years, I've worked with many applicants, helping them with their H1B visas. You can find the link of working one-to-one with me right below in the description box. We also have some free resources for you and an entire playlist on H1B visa, so make sure to check it out.
We also have a WhatsApp group for H1B, and in this group, you can get more latest information and news about the H1B visa, as well as interact with other people who are applying for the same category. So make sure to join this group right here.
So let's start by understanding what exactly is social media screening. Now, since social media screening is already been implemented for the student visas, that is F, M and J, we have a pretty good understanding of what are the steps that visa officers take. So the whole point of social media screening is to have an additional vetting and make sure that your profile is not a threat to national security. So essentially all the stories, posts, comments, all the groups and communities that you're a part of will be checked and assessed if there's any activity which might pose a threat to national security. And the way it works is that first you need to declare all the profiles in the DS160 form, set them to public at the time of your visa interview. And once your interview is done, if your visa is approved, the officer issues a 221G. 221G is essentially administrative processing, which means that your profile will now go into social media vetting. So this essentially means that there won't be any direct approval of H1B visas now. Even if the visa is approved, you will be getting a 221G and it will go into social media screening. From what we saw for the student visas, the timelines for this are quite varied. Social media screening can take anywhere between 3 to 4 working days to sometimes even up to 2 to 3 weeks. And there are a number of factors which seem to influence this, like the embassy, the profile, and also the rush or the number of people who are there at the time of the interview. Now, the most critical thing in all of this is how you fill the DS160 form, because that's what they're going to use to perform the social media screening. And over the last 3 months, we saw many instances where the students did not accurately fill the DS160 form about their social media profiles, and they were asked to go back and provide the information again. So this video, I'm going to explain in detail how to answer the DS160 form questions related to the social media profiles and how to set it to public so that you don't face any issues during the screening. So let's jump right into it. So I'm going to take you inside the DS160 form and show you how to accurately declare your social media profiles. So in the DS160 form, on the left side, you will see a section called address and home. So when I click on this and go below, you will see a subheading of social media. And here is where you need to declare your social media profiles. Now, there are actually 2 questions. So let's take it up one by one. The first question, the main one, asks, do you have a social media presence? So this is a main question. And to answer this question, you will see that you will have a drop-down box. And this drop-down box essentially gives a list of all the social media platforms which one would like to declare. And this includes all the main ones like Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and so on. So here is where I need to start declaring my social media profiles. So let me take the example of Instagram. So I can select Instagram here. And once I select it, it asks me to give the social media identifier. Now, this is the most important part, and this is where we see many mistakes being made. Now, keep in mind that an identifier does not mean your Gmail ID, your login ID, your password, or just your name. These do not help the officer to reach your profile on that particular platform. So declaring that would not help. Identifier essentially is that unique link which will make the officer land at your profile itself. So I'm taking the example of my Instagram account and showing you about the identifier. So this is my Instagram. I've gone to the profile page. And when I go there, right on top, you will see a URL. Now this entire URL could be put there because that will enable the officer to click on the link and land into my profile. So I can copy it here and simply paste it here. So this is one way of declaring the identifier. The second way, if I don't want to give the link, the second option is to just put the handle name. So in my Instagram, I can just take this last part, that is shachi.mall. That's my handle, and mention it here. So both of these will ensure that the officer is able to see only my account when he wants to check on Instagram. Now, do keep in mind that sometimes links don't work, especially for LinkedIn. If you were to put a link here, the LinkedIn link would not work. So when you update your social media profiles, do a check, click on those and make sure that they're actually landing to your profile. And in case the links are not working, then use handle name instead. In some situations, you can also make a tiny URL and enter it here in case the actual platform link is not working. So once I'm done with one, I need to repeat it for all the other platforms. So you will see a button of add another. So click on this. And when you click on this, you can select the next platform that you want to add. Let's say that's LinkedIn. Give your identifier here and continue till you have declared everything that is being mentioned in this particular dropdown. Now, this is part one of the process. The next part is to make sure that all the profiles that you're declaring are actually public. And this is also a requirement of the social media screening. So again, I take the example of Instagram and show you how to set your accounts to public. So if you click more here and go to setting, account privacy. So if I go here, you will see this option of whether it's a private account or not. And for many of you, this might be toggled to an on position, which means that your account is private. Now, for social media screening, you need to make this account public. That means it has to be like this. That is, the private account part is not there, or rather it's a public account. Now, many times we get asked that when exactly do I make it public? Well, you need to make it public before you go for the visa interview. So you can do it on the day of the visa interview or one day before. But when you appear for the visa interview, the accounts should be set to public. And you need to make it public till you get your passport back. So till the visa is issued and you get your passport back, keep the accounts as public. In fact, we have short clips and videos which explains how to make your social media accounts public for all the other platforms. So just check the description box below and you will find these shorts which explain how to make your Facebook and LinkedIn public. When it comes to YouTube, we need not worry because YouTube is by default public. Also, on the note of YouTube, here's a quick reminder that even if you're not uploading content on YouTube, but you have a YouTube account, that needs to be declared. So many times we get the question that I'm not uploading content. Yes, but since you have a YouTube account, that needs to be declared here as well. Now, this completes the first question of our social media, but it doesn't end here. There is one more question, part 2. And now let's dive into this. So this second question basically talks about all the social media platforms that might not be in this drop-down box. So what it says is that, do you wish to provide information about your presence on other websites or applications that you have used in the last 5 years to create, share content like photos, videos, status updates, etc. Which means that if there's any other social media that is not covered here, you can enter it here. So if I change this to yes, I will again get the option of adding the platform and the handle name. So there are certain platforms like Discord, Snapchat, GitHub, which are not there in the previous section. Those can be added here. So scan your social media platforms, and if there's anything that you have which is not in the previous question, that needs to be added here. Keep in mind that you do not have to declare WhatsApp, Telegram, because these are seen as messaging apps and not as social media platforms. Also, email IDs need not be declared here. In fact, there's an entire section in the DS160 form where they ask for email IDs. So this is only for any additional social media platform. So the same way, you have to enter the name of the platform. Let's say I need to declare Discord. I will enter it here, add my handle name. And then if I want to add more, I can click add another and then add, let's say, the next platform that I want to declare, and so on. So this way you can continue. So one common question that we get about social media is, do I need to declare social media platforms of, let's say, my company or organization because I have contributed to a blog post or an article there? Well, no. Even if you've contributed to the social media platform, since that platform is not run and managed by you, you need not declare it here. So only declare the social media platforms that you are posting content on your own and which are completely run and managed by you. So these are the two parts of our DS160 form. So I hope it has helped you. And once you fill the form, make sure to double check that all the links are working, and whatever handle names you're giving, just go to incognito mode, put those handle names and see whether your profile is actually being clearly visible. And that will ensure 100% compliance that all your social media handles are in place. If you're still here, still watching the video, do give it a thumbs up and comment below H1B. Now that you understood about the DS160 form, here is a really important part of the video, and that is what exactly are visa officers looking for. Now, because we saw the social media screening happening for the student visas, there are 3 insights that we understood, and I think the same are going to extend to the H1B visas as well. The number one thing is consistency of information. So it's really important that the information that you're going to share about your profile remains consistent across all the platforms. That means the DS160 information should be consistent with what you're sharing on LinkedIn, and the personal information should be consistent with what is coming across on your personal pages like Instagram and Facebook. So I would like to tell you 2 to 3 examples to make this more clear. So we had a student who had declared the previous employment, and there was a difference in the previous employment history in the DS160 form vis-a-vis the LinkedIn. And this difference was in terms of the years and also in the name of the company. Now, this discrepancy was flagged and probed further. There are also instances where there might be discrepancies in personal information. For example, you're saying you're not married, but your social media profiles tell a different story. So do a thorough check of all the platforms, especially LinkedIn, and make sure that it is reflecting the same information in the same format as your DS160 form. The second insight that we would like to share is that avoid any posts, any likes, reshares when it comes to political news, and it could be politics of India, US, or any country. It's just best to stay away from this domain and avoid any opinions or any shares, likes, posts related to politics. The third insight I have is do not have any posts or any content in your social media which directly contradicts the H1B rules and regulations. So many of you might already be in the US, and whatever you put information about your life in the US should align with what is allowed under the H1B visa. One example of this could be the location where you live. Now, we all know that in H1B, the location is determined by your LCA, and you're supposed to live and work in that location only. But from your social media profiles, if it seems like you live or work from some other location, then that could also be probed and checked. So consistency of information, staying clear of any political agenda or controversial posts, and aligning with the rules and regulations of the H1B visa is what you should aim for when you look at your social media profile. So essentially, the more bland, the plain the social media profile is, the better it is. This part of the video, I'm going to be taking up some FAQs. So stay tuned for this, and I'm sure that many of you will also have similar doubts. So the first one is, from when is this going to be implemented? So as per the official notice, this is going to be implemented from 15th of December 2025, which means that if you have your biometric date on or after 15th of December 2025, then the social media screening would apply to you. Now, though the date is mentioned as 15 December, what we suggest and what we are following for all our clients is, if your biometric is not yet done, start updating your social media profile, because you still have the chance to fill a new form and get it updated in biometric. And I think that is better than taking a chance and submitting a form where the social media handles are not declared. So as of today, if your biometric is yet to be done, fill a new DS160 form and update it with all the social media handles. The second FAQ is this only for H1 or for L1 as well? Well, as of now, it is only for H1B and H4 visas. This does not apply to the L visas, but one precaution that we have been taking for all the clients for across visa categories is that we have been declaring the social media profiles for everybody, because you never know when the rule changes. So though it's not mandatory for L visas, I would suggest that if you're applying for a L visa, just to be safe, just declare all your social media profiles. The third FAQ, what do I do if I've already filled the DS160 form? Well, there are two scenarios. If you have filled your DS160 form, but your biometric is not yet done, I would suggest fill a new form, declare all the social media handles, and update it. You can get it updated during the biometric. It's a very easy process to update it. You just have to take the old and the new confirmation page and ask them in the biometric to update it. If your biometric is already done, then the DS160 form cannot be updated. In such a scenario, what we recommend is take a printout of all your social media profiles and carry it with you to the interview. And in the interview, if the officer asks you about your social media profiles, you can mention that your biometric was already done, but you are carrying the printouts of all the social media profiles. And in many instances, we have seen that they have taken those printouts and again issued the 221G. The next FAQ is this going to be applicable for children who come under H4? Well, social media screening is not applicable for children below the age of 14. But if the child is above the age of 14 and has presence on any social media handles, I would say still go ahead and declare it. The next question, and we have been getting this quite a bit, should I just delete my profile? Now, many people have been asking us that, do I just avoid all of this hassle and just delete my profile? Well, I would say do not do that. Deleting a profile is actually very suspicious. And in many platforms, even if the profile is deleted, sometimes it still shows when you just Google that person. And if the officer clicks on it and finds that there's no profile, it might raise more doubts and suspicion. So do not delete any profile, but do a quick check and consider the 3 factors that I mentioned earlier about what visa officers are looking for, and just ensure that it's aligning with that, and probably do a bit of a cleanup if required. The next question says, will I have to pay the fee again if I fill the new form? Well, no, the visa fee does not have to be paid again. Also, in fact, your appointment is not affected. So filling a new DS160 form and getting updated in the biometric has no effect on your visa fee or the appointment that is already booked, and those will continue to stay good. Next FAQ, will the processing time for H1B visas increase? Yes, definitely a yes. So like we discussed earlier, once the visa is approved, it's not going to be a direct approval anymore. It'll go into this 221G for social media screening and then finally change to issued. And this processing time is anywhere between 3 to 4 days to sometimes up to even 2 weeks. So the processing time for H1B is definitely going to increase, and you will have to take into effect this time when you plan your travel to India. The next question says, is it applicable only for fresh H1B or renewal cases as well? This is applicable for all H1B visas. So any H1B visa which is going to get stamped in India from 15 December 2025 will come under social media screening. And the last question is, what do I do if I do not have any social media profile? And again, this is something that we've been asked a lot. Now, many people genuinely might not have a social media profile, but I feel that not declaring anything still, raises some questions. So what we suggest is that in such a case, make a simple LinkedIn profile and make sure that the information is aligning with your DS160 form and declare that LinkedIn. So at least one professional social media profile will be there, and that will satisfy, whatever screening they want to do, and will again avoid any unnecessary probing or checks for you. So this was all the information about the social media screening. If there are any more questions or anything I have not covered, please feel free to put it in the comment section below and I will get back to you. And we also have a more detailed video on the DS160 form for H1B visas where I explain not just the social media part but also all the other sections of the form and how you need to take care of it. So once you're done watching this video, make sure that you watch this video and fill your DS160 form properly and accurately. And if you need my help with DS160 form interview prep, feel free to reach out. All the details are right below in the description box. You can also reach out to me via Instagram. My Instagram handle is @shachi.mall. So you can DM me here as well. Signing off for now. Any new updates, we will be tracking it and bringing it to you right here. So make sure that you subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.